Hello students and welcome back to this session of legal restrictions on payment of dividend. This session is actually a continuation of the previous video session where we learnt about provisions related to the payment of dividend. So let us get started. First we will look at the sources of payment of dividend for a company. A company can pay dividend through three major sources. The first source is out of the profits of the company. This could be the profits of the financial year for which dividend is declared or from the profits of previous year. Another source to declare a dividend for a company can be out of the money which is provided to the company by the central government or the state government. This money is given because the central or state government has provided a guarantee that they will give this amount. The third source of paying a dividend for a company is the accumulated profit of the previous year which was transferred to reserves. Section 123 subsection 1 of the Companies Act says that a company before declaring a dividend for a particular financial year may transfer the same percentage of its profit in that financial year to the reserves account. Please remember that the transfer of profits to reserve is completely the choice of the company. Let us look at the rules related to the declaration of dividend in case the company is having loss or inadequate profit. Section 123 subsection 1 of the Companies Law further says that if a company is having inadequate profit or facing losses and still wants to declare dividend, it can do so out of the free reserves which were created from the accumulated profit of the previous years. But there are certain restrictions here. The first restriction is that in such a situation, the rate of dividend should not exceed the average rate which was declared in the previous 3 years. The second restriction is that the total amount which will be drawn from such accumulated profits should not exceed 1/10 of the sum of the company's paid up share capital and free reserves as appearing on the company's financial statements. Another restriction is that once the amount is withdrawn from the accumulated profit, first it should be used for setting off any losses of that particular financial year, and then only the remaining amount should be used to pay dividend. And the fourth restriction here is that the balance of the accumulated profit or the reserves from where the withdrawal has been made should not fall below 15% of the paid up share capital of the company. Moving further to the next point, which is that whenever a declaration of dividend is made, it should be unconditional. This means that no company can declare any dividend subject to any conditions such as approval from their financial institutions or banks from whom the company would have taken a loan. Another important point is that when a company declares a dividend, then that amount should be deposited by a company in a scheduled bank in a separate account, and this should be done within 5 days from the declaration of the dividend. Let us now look at how the rate of dividend varies according to the types of shares. So for equity shareholders, the rate of dividend is decided by the board of directors depending upon the adequacy of the profit of the company. On the other hand, the rate of dividend for the preference shareholders is a fixed rate which is decided when the preference shares were issued. Let us now move to the mode of payment of dividend. Dividend can be paid in cash and not in kind. Dividend payable in cash can be paid through check or warrant or any electronic mode of payment which is approved by the Reserve Bank of India. The check or dividend warrant can be sent through post to the registered address of the member. Dividend shall be paid proportionately on the paid up value of shares. Now let us move to the next point, which is related to the unpaid dividend account. According to the Companies Act, any company who has declared a dividend should deposit the amount of dividend in a scheduled bank within 5 days of declaration. Suppose a company has declared a dividend and any shareholder who's entitled to receive this payment of dividend should take the dividend within 30 days from the company. Suppose the shareholder doesn't collect his dividend from the company within the 30 days, then within 7 days, the company will transfer that amount to a special bank account called an unpaid dividend account. Once the company has transferred the amount to the unpaid dividend account, then within 90 days of making this transfer, the company is required to prepare a statement containing the names and addresses of the members who are having unpaid dividend, and the company should place this list on its official website. Now let us look at a situation where the members don't claim unpaid dividend and it remains in the unpaid dividend account for a period of 7 years. In this situation, after 7 years, the amount will get transferred to Investor Education and Protection Fund, that is IEPF account. The amount transferred to IEPF can be used for the refund in respect of unclaimed dividends, mature deposits, debentures, or it can also be used later for promotion of investors' education, their protection and awareness. Now let us look at the penalty which the company will have to face due to the non-payment of dividend. When a company has declared dividend and within 30 days of such declaration, it has not initiated the payment of dividend, then the company's directors are liable for a punishment of imprisonment which may extend to 2 years and a fine which may be around 1000 rupees per day of making such a default. Also, there are fines and punishments for the company and directors if they do not transfer the unclaimed dividend to Investor Education and Protection Fund, that is an IEPF account. All this is in place to safeguard the interest of the investors. So this was all about legal restrictions on the payment of dividends. Thank you for tuning in and listening.